Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back in another video, and today I'm gonna be doing my Attack on Titan OAD aka the OVA episode 1 review. Well, it's not episode 1, but it's the first episode of the OVA. Okay, let's just put it that way. So we'll figure out the proper title for this, but I'm still trying to figure that out if I should just call it ODA or OAD or OVA. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Whatever comes up on this YouTube channel, we're gonna have it as title. It might be changed, but I don't know. Point being is we're gonna get to this. So, this is the first episode. Again, we're a little late on the first episode release here, and the second one is out already. So we'll get to that one later in the week, and then hopefully have a normal schedule for the remaining OVAs releases. So, backstory again, this is exclusively on FunimationNow and Crunchyroll streaming services, respectively. And this is because the licensing deal is different for this, so this won't be on Toonami, but I guess the schedule is still going to be the same on the streaming services. So, the first episode of the OVAs is Elysian's, I think I'm saying that, Elysian Notebook, Memories of a Scout Regiment Member. So we're going to get to this. And there's a couple things I had to note down, so I kind of had this accurate here. So we're going to kind of show this. So this episode actually focuses on, and again, for us dub watchers, a lot of this stuff we already know, but we didn't particularly see this event, so it is good to see this. I would have probably liked to have seen it when the dub was coming out for Season 1, because this takes place in Season 1, but I'm glad at least we're getting it. In contents, when this came out in Japan in 2013, CM Punk was still with WWE. Just saying. So, yeah, we were way behind, especially since the dub. I think the dub came out in 2015, right? So, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Better to have the dub than never have the dub at all, I guess. Anyways, so this episode does not have Mikasa, Eren, or Armin in the episode, though Armin does do his narration, of course, but that is about it. This is about Levi and Hange, pretty much. Mostly Hange, but yeah. So the episode starts off with, they're talking about year 80. Eren, well, they do have the thing with Eren, the intros and whatnot, but what they're doing, but they just kind of go and do what they doing with their training, and then they just go into, again, Levi and Hange. Hange, they're the scout regiment. They're basically on a mission, and they're basically trying to, take out Titans and whatnot. Hange wants to pursue a Titan in hopes of capturing it. And she's basically really on this whole tirade, of taking it out. I should point this out. that in the message cards, in the episode cards after they give out the theme song, they do say this is episode 3.5. So this takes place, like, I guess, after episode 3, or during episode 3, or somewhere in between. So that's something I gotta bring up as well. So Hange is like arguing with, her, people that's in front of her. She actually chokes a guy. But again, Erwin is just basically not having it. He is, nope, not having it. She nothing to do with capturing, or he wants nothing to do with capturing a Titan. It will sacrifice a lot of people, and the last time, well, she argues that the last time they captured a Titan was 50 years ago, and it took like 25 people to get it. That they sacrificed to capture it. And so she's like, we need to get more research on this. She's just like so into this. She wants this. And they keep denying her. Eventually, they go on a mission again. She choked a person out, but then, she writes, she's like, and Erwin again has nothing of it. And so then they go out to the mission. Levi is in the intent to kill, and all the other people are in intent of kill. Hange comes across this abnormal Titan that she wants him to follow her. And the Titan eventually realizes that, he's smart enough to figure out what she's doing, so he goes the other direction. And so then she chases after him. And she eventually, Hange gets across to the center of the forest. Other people are chasing her too, but they get to the center of the forest. And this is where this abnormal Titan basically is like, he's abnormal. He does a headbutt, on the middle of the tree, the center of the tree, which shows a Titan body. Of someone who was killed, and Hange did determine it was about someone from a year ago that was killed. The Titan then turns hostile when Hange got close to it, but then Levi, and everyone else goes after it. The one person was ready to kill it, but then Hange said no, and basically almost got killed. That person almost got killed for that reason, and then Levi stepped in and killed it. So they inspected where he headbutted, and as I said, they discovered the body of the basically body of Ilza, a soldier from the 34th Scout Regiment Division, resting inside of the tree, headless, basically. Before I continue, because I completely skipped the public disclaimer, which I'm going to get into right now because I forgot to mention that. So for the public disclaimer, I do not have an actual translated picture of it because most of them comes from screenshots from Toonami's website, stream thing, or whatever. So what I did was I just kind of took a picture to kind of go over. I mean, I already read it, but I just wanted to make sure. So for their public disclaimer here, It's basically two. I guess for like commercial break start and commercial break end. So quote the first one: the accelerant of the Titan. The origins of the Titans is not recorded in existing historical records, and nearly all unknown. The or in all aspects thereby are unknown, end quote, which again for the time made sense because we didn't know anything back then. Well, when season 1 came out for the English dub, we didn't really know that much. So yes, this made sense for the time. Obviously, we all know everything about the Titans now, but again, this is for the time, and again, which is why the dub coming out now really is kind of insignificant, because we know everything now. But I guess it's just cool to go back and look at stuff that we should have had years ago, I guess. So then, I guess the commercial break disclaimer, which they don't even have the public disclaimer on this for season 1, by the way. I don't know if that's just for the OAD here, or if they did that for season 1 too. Quote, a Titan solely behavioral principles is the divining of people, but based on various data and records. The purpose for this is suspicious, to be slaughterers rather than predators. And we know that's not true anymore for anybody who hasn't seen the remainder of the series by now. So yeah, those were the public disclaimers. Going old school, I guess. Outdated information. So Ilias was a 34th Scout Regiment, or was from the 34th Scout Regiment Division, and she was resting inside the tree. She was resting in the tree of the tree. While she was resting in the tree of the tree, they found a notebook belonging to her lying on the ground. And they took the notebook and detailed the records that she had and how she had escaped. They go into a flashback showing, that her squad had been killed, her OVM gear was broken, so she had to discard that, and she basically wrote stuff saying that the moment a Titan catches me, that's pretty much it, but she was writing everything down, while she was doing this. Eventually, she's in the forest, and she has been cornered by this abnormal Titan, blonde hair abnormal Titan, and, it bows down to her, and speaks, in human language, calling her Amir, I guess because she kind of looks like her. And she basically then responds in attempting to communicate with the Titan as he kneels down, and basically says, why are you eating us? Why are you doing this? It's been proven that you don't have to. And she just basically yells it at her, but again, as she's writing stuff down, she basically says she has no fear. Titan gets incredibly hostile again and basically grabs her and basically bites her head off, and that's all they basically eat. They don't eat anything else. It's kind of interesting too because she literally is writing stuff down as the stuff is happening. So literally she is writing stuff down as her head is being ripped off, basically, or bitten off. So she writes until it's bitten off, and then after that, she can't write anymore. Basically, she's dead. Uh, um, the notepad and the remainder of her body is put in this tree for the Titan. From this Titan, and basically, I guess that was the Titan's plan, was to intentionally let Hange know about this, because he breaks the tree open, the tree branch open, for them to know this, which makes sense because he's a human, I guess. He chooses not to destroy the remainder of her body, but rests it inside the tree, as we all know. Hanji takes back the notebook and reads it, and basically, writes a letter to Erwin, and Erwin sees it, and basically, Levi and everyone else comes in. Levi basically tells Hanji the news that it's been approved for their mission of being able to capture a Titan. Not killing it. Following this approval, one of the Titan, or one of the scouts, basically, apologizes about the stuff earlier in the episode, when he was choked the first time, but basically, Hanji is basically like, you don't need to apologize, I should be apologizing to you for putting you in danger. If it had been for Levi coming in, you would have died, and your life is worth something. After they read the notebook and got all the information, they basically returned the belongings to her grieving family. So you can see the mom crying in the background. The dad is kind of just like distraught, hearing the news. And that is how the first OVA or OAD episode ends. So yeah. It's an okay episode. I like that it covers stuff, the characters outside of Eren and the three mains, because this was season 1, so for the time, there wasn't really, since this is 3.5, this was like during the events of episode 3, or after episode 3 and before episode 4. This makes sense. And I also should point out there was a narration by Hanji that basically talked about how not too long after, or actually no, I think it was Armin, but not too long after, they were able to capture the Titan and had no casualties in doing it, unlike what happened 50 years prior to that. So I should put that out. But that's how the episode ends. I should say, like I said, for its time, this made sense because Levi and Hanji really hadn't gotten any screen time yet, and they weren't really that known. As a matter of fact, season 1, I think, Levi really isn't really shown really until much, much later in the first season, if I'm not mistaken. So for the episode itself, for the time, it makes sense that you would give them screen time here. And it kind of covers stuff. But obviously, again, because this came out so many years later, it's kind of very, very, very insignificant at this point, for people that are watching this for the first time on the English dub. For the people that are watching this for the very first time, it's very, very dated, basically. And a lot of these are going to be dated. But, I guess, looking at it again and looking back on it, it's pretty kind of cool to see, what they were doing during certain parts in the episode, I guess, from that aspect, and getting to actually see it dubbed. But again, it's just not the same of seeing it like during the time when the old dub was released, or when the dub was first coming out. It just seems very, very out of place at this point. But at least we got it. I am the Pampa, better late than never, I guess. But again, there's not going to be really that many surprises when you see these episodes. At this point, I mean, I'll be actually shocked if there's a surprise in any of these episodes, because again, we've already seen everything. We already know everything at this point. But yeah, it was a good episode. Again, it probably would have been better had this came out during season 1, when the dub came out, because then I think it would have been more significant to people that are watching it compared to watching it now for the first time. For other people that are, because there's probably a lot. I'm probably not the only person that this is the first time that they've watched it. If you're a dub only watcher like me, this is probably first time your exposure to it. It hits differently at this point. So yeah, that is about it. Comment, rate if you like this video or my other videos. Please subscribe. Again, make sure to hit that bell for all the latest contents. And that is about it, guys. I'm out of here. I'm the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here.